Okay, we're going to be going over these problems today, so pay attention to what's going on. I'll be working with you together. You need to fix your paper as I work the problems with you. Check your new paper. All right, so the first one, we're boxing and we're boxing. The 5 is understood to be positive. Like signs, same signs add. 8 and 5, or 5 and 3 is 8, and the sign gets brought over. Number 2, negative 8, negative 2. No duplicate subtraction. Double negatives, nope, so I box. Signs are the same signs add. 8 plus 2 is 10, and the sign gets brought over. Number 3, okay, so I don't have to move the camera back and forth so much, we're going to go down instead of across. So number 3, no double negatives. Boxing, signs are the same signs add. 19, bringing over our negative sign. Next problem, no double negatives. Boxing the number with the sign directly in front of it. This is understood to have a positive since there's nothing there. A positive in the box and a negative in the box yields opposite signs. Opposite signs subtract. 9 minus 8 is 1. Sign of the larger digit, 9 is bigger than 8, so the answer gets a negative. Number 7, no double negatives, so we box and box. Negative and a positive, so signs are opposite. Opposite signs subtract. 17 minus 5 is 12. Looking for the larger digit, 17 is larger than 5. 17 has a negative with it, therefore your answer gets a negative. Number 9, duplicating negative signs, right there they are, back to back. Duplicating negative signs becomes a positive. Boxing the two values. This 9 has no sign, so we accept it as a positive. So now we have a positive 9 and a positive 6. Signs are the same. 9 plus 6 is 15. Same signs, we bring our sign over to the answer. Number 11, no double negatives, so we box and box. When we box together, we see a same sign situation. Same signs add. 5 plus 2 is 7, and then the sign in this case gets brought over. Coming back up to the other side, we've already done number 2. Now looking at number 4. Looking at the situation, we have a double negative situation. Those double negatives become a positive. Then boxing our integers, we end up with a negative 8 and a positive 4. Signs are opposite. Opposite signs subtract. 8 minus 4 is 4. Taking the sign of the larger digit yields us a negative 4. Next one, 9 minus 7, no double negatives. So we simply box our integers with the sign directly in front. This has no sign, so we assume that it is a positive, yielding us opposite signs. Opposite signs subtract. 9 minus 7 is 2. 9 is larger than 7, therefore our answer gets a positive 2. Next problem, no double negatives. So we box each sign with each number with the sign directly in front of it. This one doesn't have a sign, so it is understood that it is positive. So now we have a positive 6 and a negative 13, which has opposite signs. 13 minus 6 is 7. Looking for the larger digit, 13 is the larger digit, which has a negative sign. Therefore, our answer is negative. Number 10, no double negatives. So we box our numbers with the sign directly in front of it. 7 has no sign, so we understand it to be a positive 7, a negative 19, opposite signs subtract. 19 minus 7 is 12. Taking the sign of the larger digit being 19 is negative, so your answer is negative. Number 12, 10 minus negative 8. We have a double negative there, so we take that double negative, and that double negative becomes a positive. We then box our integers. Once we box our integers, we see we have a negative and a positive, meaning opposite signs. Opposite signs subtract. 10 minus 8 is 2. The larger integer is 10, which has a negative sign with it. And I apologize, I skipped number 13 and 13 and 15 on this side. So coming back to 13 and 15, looking at number 13, we have 9 plus negative 12. There are no double negatives, so we simply box our integers. 9 has no sign with it, so we understand that there is a positive sign with that. So now we have a positive and a negative, which are opposite signs. Opposite signs subtract. 12 minus 9 is 3. Looking for the larger digit, 12 is larger with a negative sign with it, so our answer gets a negative sign. Number 14, negative 8, positive 6, no double negatives, so we box them up. They are opposite signs. 8 minus 6 is 2. 8 is the larger integer when it has a negative sign, so our answer gets a negative. And number 15, we have a double negative in our problem. That double negative becomes a positive. We then box our integers, leaving us with a negative 10 and a positive 6. Opposite signs subtract, giving us an answer of 4. Then we must locate our positive or negative sign. The larger digit is 10, which has the negative sign, so we put in our negative sign with our answer. And finally, down to the challenge question. This one's fun. As you look through it, the first thing you do, doing the same exact thing that we did with the 4 steps on the board up there, we look for our double negatives first. There's a double negative. That double negative becomes a positive. And then we work from there. We box our integers. And now here's the only thing I would suggest you do differently. I would suggest that you group your negatives and you group your positives and just get 2 answers. So for example, you have a negative 7 and you have a negative 2. Negative 7 minus 2 gives us a negative 9. And then you have a positive 5, a positive 3, and a positive 8. 5 plus 3 is 8, and 8 plus 8 is 16. And of course that's positive. So now your final problem would be your negative 9 plus 16, negative 9 plus 16, and then you solve it the same way. There's no more doubles in there. So you box and you box. Your signs are opposite, so you would be subtracting. So 16 minus 9 is 7, and 16 has the larger integer, so you put the positive sign with it. Sorry about that. The lights in my classroom went out. I was trying to get them back on. But anyway, so go through that paper, check your answers, make sure you have the correct answers on there. If you need any rewound or paused or whatnot, please feel free to do so. You will be working on a dragon picture practice today. Once you're finished with your dragon picture practice, then you can go on to IXL and you'll be practicing grade 6 in 2 and in 4, which is addition and subtraction of integers. You will have a graded integer addition and subtraction practice when you come to class tomorrow. So be prepared to solve those adding and subtracting of integers and getting a grade on it. All right, have a good afternoon. I'll talk to you tomorrow.